Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Nandi. If you do know me, welcome back to another video. So I know everyone has read that title and is literally thinking, girl, what? But yes, the title is correct. So before we get into this story time, I need everyone to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, subscribe, okay? And now that we all have done that, let's get into this story time. So I have my notes on my phone, per usual. If you know, you know, Nandi always has her notes. It just helps me stay on track. So once again, you read the title correctly. And one thing about it, and one thing for sure, I may tell a joke, but baby, I never tell a lie, okay? I may tell you a joke, but I will never tell you a lie.
I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you
a lie.
I'm telling you.
I might tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie.
Yeah,
for real. For real.
Now that I can talk about this, and the reason why I am dropping this video is because if you've been keeping up with my journey, you know I even said in my last previous video about why I quit my pediatric NP job. I literally said in that video there were multiple reasons as to why I quit that job, and one of which at the time I was not able to discuss, but now we can go ahead and discuss it. Pretty much I'm filming this video to let you guys know that yes, okay, I did have an incident, a work injury from my previous nurse practitioner job. And that is probably about 90% of the reason as to why I quit that job. Mostly, I just don't want to give you guys that sort of vibe and impression that I'm just quitting jobs to quit jobs. That's also why I'm making this video, because it's very important for me to let you all know that I am a planner. Pretty much everything that I do is for a reason. Everything that I do is for a reason. Every job that I quit is for a reason. And I just want to make that clear on this channel. So if you so happen to see me in a new environment, just know Nandi got a new job, but it's for a reason. Long story short, this video will consist of 3 parts. First part, I am going to go ahead and just give you guys a brief overview, brief story time about what happened to me. Part 2, we're gonna go into just letting you guys know what you all should do if any type of work-related injury or accident should happen to you, which I pray that it never does. But in the event that something does happen to any of you, I'm gonna be going over some steps as to what you should be doing. And then part 3, we're gonna talk about some lessons learned, because as you know, I always like to leave you guys with some gems, some things that I took away from everything that's happened to me. So you are gaining something from this channel, because it's very, very important to me that you not only are coming to my channel, following my journey, but most importantly, I want you all to be able to leave my videos with some type of new knowledge. I want you all to be able to gain something from this channel and from watching my videos. Always, 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 okay? So let's go ahead and get into part 1 of this video. Pretty much, and I'm just summarizing this very quickly here. It was very early in the morning. I always am the first one to sort of get to the office, at least at that period of time. As the NP, I typically was the first one to get to the office. I was the only NP in this particular office that day, because my previous NP job, we had 2 different offices. At this particular office on this day, I was the only provider that was scheduled to work in this office. I get out of my car. As you know, as a nurse, I feel like nurses, NPs, we always have a whole bunch of items in our hand, okay? So I had my work bag on my shoulder. I literally have my lunch box in my hand. I also have my coffee mug in my hand. I opened up the door to get into the office that day. As soon as I opened up the door, I literally stepped forward with my left foot, and my left foot begins to cave into the flooring. At this particular moment, and I feel like anybody who has experienced anything, not even similar to this, but just anything that's like shocking to you, your body like immediately goes into fight or flight, right? So I didn't even look down. I didn't have time to look down. I just knew that something was wrong. And so I'm immediately struggling with all these things in my hand, my heavy bag, everything, to just try to catch my balance. So I'm using my right leg to sort of step forward, catch my balance. At this particular time, I can't even tell you. I'm just trying to survive, okay? Because I feel my body caving downwards, which should not be happening. I'm just trying to survive everything. So I'm trying to stabilize myself, catch my balance. I'm not sure in the process what happened to my foot or anything like that. I'm just trying to get out of the hole pretty much, right? I'm doing that. I remember hitting my face with my coffee mug because I'm literally like struggling to catch my balance. I am able to get out of the hole and pull myself up with my right leg. In this particular time, of course, I feel like it's similar to like a car accident, right? You know, you feel like, okay, you just survived something horrific. Great. You just happy that you survived. So you're not immediately focused on, oh, like, is my leg okay? Is my foot okay? Da 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 da. That's not on my brain, okay? I was just happy that I survived. I am going to insert some clips of the hole so you guys can see. We have, or we had at the time, I don't know because I'm no longer at that job, but we had a sort of like doormat or like small little square carpet, you could sort of say, that literally when you open the door, it's on the floor right there. So I say that to say that if there was something wrong with any of the flooring, I was not able to see that or visualize that before stepping in the door because there's a little carpet or, you know, doormat that covers that area. So from the clips you'll see the doormat literally caved in to the hole, and you'll see the hole that my foot created. I want you guys to know that nothing that was appropriate or protocol, nothing that should have been done was done after this incident. And I think that's the best way to summarize, that's the best way to politely put that. Nothing that was done correctly, by protocol, by any means that you can say that should have been done was done for me after this incident. So that's why I'm making this video, because it's important to me that you all know what to do. If this happens to you, once again, God forbid, I do not wish that on anybody. But if there is some type of incident that occurs, it's important that from this video you gain, okay, so what should happen? Because nothing correctly, once again, was done for me. I was asked if I could take a 800 Motrin and continue to see patients that day. Yeah. I also want to mention, if you guys remember, because I literally put that in here as well in my notes, if you all recall last year, if you look at some of my old pediatric NP videos, there was like one video right before I stopped sort of filming my pediatric NP vlogs, and you'll see that I had a boot on. If you remember, that is why I had the boot on. All of this is why we had the boot, you guys, okay? If you know, you know. So after the foot situation, I stopped filming for a while, and you know, this was why. So let's go ahead and get into part two. Part two, what to do if you get hurt on the job as a nurse or a healthcare worker. As you guys know, I'm an NP, also a nurse. Pretty much the same rules or guidelines that I'm going over, it should be applicable to you as a healthcare worker, even if you're not exactly a nurse. Number one, if it is an emergency, you want to call for help or go to the employee health department or ER immediately. That is very, very important because a lot of people don't always necessarily know, which I'll also get into later. But typically every job should have a panel of physicians list up. It should be either in your break room or somewhere else if you are like me or similar to me and work in an outpatient care setting. There should be a list, a panel of physicians list of people you can refer to and go to if you feel like any type of work-related injury has occurred. If there is no list, you are to go to the emergency room so they can go ahead and document everything that's happened to you and sort of start your process for any work-related injury. Number 2, you do want to go ahead and notify your charge nurse or your supervisor right away. Tell your supervisor immediately what has occurred. And most facilities do require that the injury be reported before the end of your shift. But by doing this, most importantly, you are triggering the process of documentation, meaning that they should be doing an incident report for you. So it's very important that you notify your manager, supervisor, charge nurse right away. Step 3, they should go ahead and complete an incident report for you. And this is gonna include all the information, the date, the time, the location, description of the injury, all of those things. Step number 4, you are going to go to the employee health or approved provider. So this goes once again into what I was saying with step number 1, okay? So it's very important that you go to the approved provider. This goes with the panel of physicians list. And or most hospitals and clinics have an employee health or occupational medicine department. You pretty much want to go to that designated person who is going to be able to evaluate the injury, provide first aid, give you any referrals, order any necessary tests, and then document any work restrictions. That's very, very important. Step number 5, you want to go ahead and file for workers' compensation. Your employee health or HR department usually will start the workers' compensation process. Workers' compensation is very important because it covers a lot of important things, okay? It's covering your medical expenses, it's covering lost wages, rehabilitation, PT, all of those things. So it's very, very important that you are asking for a copy of the injury report and any form submitted to the state. Step number 6, you are going to follow up and stay in communication. So you're gonna keep your supervisor in the loop, employee health in the loop about your condition. If you're placed on light duty or restricted activity, you wanna make sure that it's documented and your unit manager is aware. Also, keep track of everything. So you wanna keep all of your medical records together, keep anything that's with correspondence to what happened to you. Make sure you have all of the documentation that you need related to the injury. Step number 7, big 7. You want to protect yourself legally. Protect yourself legally. Once again, protect yourself legally. If your claim is denied or you feel pressured not to report, you will want to contact a workers' compensation attorney. You can also contact your state nursing association. You can also contact OSHA for any unsafe conditions or lack of proper protocols. You should never feel guilty for reporting what has happened to you. It is your legal right. It is your legal right to not only protect yourself, but also it protects others as well by doing this report. So important. As you see, even to this day, I am literally semi-speechless, but everything that I went over is very, very important. I said it in a very, quick and concise way, but it's still giving you the tips and tools about what you should need to do. Let's go ahead and go into part 3. Part 3, we're going to talk about some lessons that I learned as a result of all of this happening to me. So lesson number 1, this lesson is not even something that I should have to state because it shouldn't be happening, and people not even people, but those people that are in charge should know what to do. But I put down on here, make sure at your place of employment, especially with outpatient, your boss, your manager, your MD is aware of what they should be doing for you if an event like this occurs. Honestly, if you have the time one random day, I suggest pop quizzing people. Yep, pop quiz them. Because I literally did it to my boss at my women's health clinic one day. I was about to say her name. I said, Nicole, I'm gonna call her Nicole. Nicole, if I literally sit there, like fall, slip, break a bone at work, what should you do? And I literally asked her just like that. And she told me step by step. She's like, oh, we need to be doing this. We gotta make sure you're seen. We gotta do the injury report, da 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 da. And she said everything correctly. But after what happened to me, I am just paranoid. I'm super paranoid. And I wanted to be sure that, not even wanted to be sure because I knew this particular manager would literally know what to do, which is why I love my women's health clinic and which is why I've been there for so long, because I don't have those types of worries. But it's just to have that confidence and knowing like, yeah, like I'm good. Like I'm good here, you know? So I highly suggest if you have the random time, random second, you watch this video, 100% pop quiz your person that's in charge and make sure that they know what they should be doing in that event. Number 2 big lesson. God taught me this multiple times last year. But I highly recommend, and this does not apply to everybody, but for the people that can do it, I highly recommend that as nurses, which a lot of nurses do not anyway, but do not rely solely on one job for a source of income. And if you're not in the position to have multiple things, and it doesn't even mean, oh, I'm working 2 full-time jobs. As a nurse, we know that. Like, that means having your little PRN gig, your little part-time gig. The point is you have something else in your pocket, something else to protect yourself, something else to be sure that financially you're always good. If if something happens, because this is life, you can't always predict these things from happening. I can't predict falling through a floor, okay? Like I would never in a billion trillion years think that something like that would happen to me. So I highly do suggest that you have your little PRN, your little part-time gig. Of course, be sure that you have your savings in your savings account, because literally you never know what can happen. You literally never know. Number 3, other lesson that I have on here, do not burn bridges with old jobs. And I'm mainly referring to the ones that you had good experiences with. If those jobs treated you horrible, on this channel, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna tell you to go ahead and try to stick around and, keep those jobs in your pocket. I am talking about the jobs that you have had good experiences with, jobs that you probably at this point can do with your eyes closed, no problem. It's a great PRN gig, something, once again, just to have in your pocket. Don't burn bridges. Because once again, you literally never know in life what could happen. And if you can, ask to remain PRN at these jobs. And it may not be something that you go to once a week, even twice a week. It may be a job that you show up at and just be a PRN nurse maybe once a month. But the point is that that you always have a backup. You are always okay. The next lesson that I have on here, I highly recommend every nurse, every single one of you, to have a minimum of 1 attorney in your phone, saved. Name, phone number, saved. Minimum. And I say minimum of 1 because they're different attorneys for different things. But be sure that you have a minimum, okay, of 1 saved in your phone. If possible, because they do exist, I also do highly recommend they have nurse attorneys, meaning either the attorney specializes in dealing with nurses, or you also can find attorneys that are also a nurse, if that makes sense. Like they may have been a RN or nurse and was practicing maybe 20 years ago, but now maybe they're older and they're an attorney. Or you have some people, even from doing my research, that are young. They don't necessarily have to be old, but there are nurses who are RNs and also attorneys. And honestly, I feel like you can't beat that. You can't beat that, because they can understand your position as a nurse, and they can also give you correct legal advice. I literally put in here, outside of just injuries, this can be nurses or attorneys that help with reviewing contracts, because these contracts out here are crazy. That's a whole different topic for another day. But these contracts that they are having people sign are insane. So that could be somebody that is just reviewing over your nursing contracts before you are taking jobs. It could be somebody that you referred to, you know, in the event of anything happening to you, any injury happening to you. But it's very, very important that you protect yourself as a nurse. I think it's something that we're taught a lot about in school, but I don't think we're always taught about the legal aspect. You know, they always tell us, oh, document, 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 you know, protect yourself in that aspect, but they don't always go over things more in depth in regards to, if something does occur, these are your legal rights, and these are the type of attorneys that you should be trying to look for. So I definitely want to mention that on this channel. Lastly, it's not necessarily a lesson, but just something that I wanted to state. During difficult times, because life is life, during difficult times, of course, you know, it's important to stay prayed up, but also don't be afraid to lean on others if you do need the help, if you do need the support, and more so mentally, emotionally. Don't be afraid to reach out to those who you know for a fact have your back and will be there for you during those tough times. For me, last year, that's why I said even a few times, I was like, oh, like, you know, I'm so impressed and proud of myself for even how many videos I did drop last year, because last year was a very rough year for me. And this is the last time, hopefully, I say those words on this channel. But 2024, baby, it was a very rough year for me. So I simply want to say, for those who knew about, and mostly speaking about my family members, my friends, like close loved ones, for those who knew about what happened to me, who knew about what I was going through emotionally, also physically, to try to fight to get back to literally being able to stand on 2 feet again. You know, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, because I was in a very sad place, okay? I was in a very sad place. As most of you can imagine, it's different when something happens to you and you know that it's happening because you played some type of part in it for it to occur, if that makes sense. Like, but it's a lot harder, I feel like, to go through things when it's like, this should have never even happened in the first place. It's something that's literally out of my control. It should have never happened. And now I literally have to pick up the pieces. I literally have to fight physically, mentally, emotionally, to get back to the person I once was, because this should have never happened. It's just, it's insane. It's literally insane. Once again, thank you to all the people who tried to cheer me up throughout the process, for all of you who knew what was going on with me. I just want to say thank you. I just want to end this video off by saying there is a reason that your girl has not said the P word too often this year. I'm gonna put the P word on the screen, but there is a reason, okay? Your girl's low-key traumatized about what happened and everything that I had to go through to get my body once again back to normal, back to be able to do things I enjoy, back to be able to work out again. You know, there was a lot that happened behind the scenes. Like I said, if your girl low-key traumatized right now, give me time, give me grace. But if any of you have any questions in regards to the P word, I am still a resource for you. And I want that to be known on this channel. I'm still a resource to all of you in that aspect, because in regards to the schooling, the examinations, the boards, obviously I've been there, done that. And it's just important to me that you know that I'm still here for you, even though I may not discuss it too much as of right now. I love you all. You know, once again, I hope that you took something away from this video, because it's very important to me that you always take something away from this channel. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you ever have any questions for me, I will put my Instagram on the screen. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. You can always DM me. If you do have any questions, I'm here for you. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.